this week's Hometown Hauntings, we are doing Las Vegas. I have Mason with me, is my co-host today, and I'm so excited. Vegas means a lot to me because it's my hometown. So this one I'm very excited to do.
You went to high school in Vegas, right?
Born and raised.
There we
Yep,
go.
graduated
Okay.
high school out there, went to many, many schools, lived all over the area, have family still out there. And yeah, so when I think of home, I think of Vegas.
You know a thing or two about the ghosts there then, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get into that then.
I'm so excited just because Vegas, I think the history of it with everything from the old history, the mob, Elvis. I'm a huge Elvis girl.
Yes.
So that whole standpoint, I have family that worked in casinos and hotels, and they own businesses. They did construction. So I was there for a lot of the like nostalgic parts before it was demolished, like the Sands. I was there before the Sands got demolished, and I worked on the Strip as a lifeguard at one of the largest water parks. It was Wet and Wild. That's now, I believe, closed. But yeah, so Vegas to me is...
You saw the full transformation.
Yes.
From, I guess, Sin City into adult Disney World.
Yeah, and a lot of people think, oh, you're from Vegas? Like, do you live in... No, we didn't live in hotels, but boy, did we grow up fast. So nothing surprises me. I've seen it all. Very open-minded, and that's one of the things I like about there is that they're so welcoming of everybody because everybody's quirky in their own ways.
That's right.
So, yes, but I'm very excited to do this and touch on home, and we have a great guest today. But I want to thank you for being my co-host. I think this is great. Ready to do this?
I'm ready. I'm glad to be here.
Good.
All right.
Okay, let's rock and roll. So our guest today is Jim Higgins. Jim, thanks so much for being our guest today on our Hometown Hauntings.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me. I love talking about Vegas. This is my hometown. This is where I'm popping my tents all the time.
So how long have you been in Vegas?
17 years. I came here in '06 with Caesars Entertainment. I worked for Caesars forever. I started down south with them in Florida. We were promoting all the casinos on the Mississippi Gulf Coast there, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Tunica. Joined the team up there in '04, and then that little storm came along called Katrina. And kind of knocked us out of the water there, part of the pun. But my wife and I moved out to Reno for a year, and then
city.
we were down here. We've been here since '06 and absolutely love it. Yeah.
Okay. So did work send you out there, or did you guys just pick Vegas because that's where you? Okay.
No, it was all Caesars connected.
Okay.
It was after Katrina. I was hired up in Reno at the original Harrah's Reno, if you remember that.
Yeah.
Being from Nevada, you know that.
Yeah.
And I was there for a year, had a year's contract, and then I was brought down to Las Vegas to do several different things, meetings mostly, but I also had other. I was a regional director down in Mississippi, so I had a lot of experience from around the country. Doing different projects and stuff. It really blended well because, they taught me Vegas. I'm talking other parts of the country that ideas blended, and it was awesome.
Yeah. When you're bringing other cities to big cities, it gives them a new aspect and a way of thinking towards things.
Especially when you're mixing smaller markets to a larger market like Las Vegas. And my brother had the best saying in the world. He goes, "Jimmy, do you know what you just did?" And I went, "No." He goes, "You went from AAA to the majors, dude." It's been true ever since. Ever since now, I've been working with everybody in the city. It's amazing. I have my own business here, and it's just been a joy to be here.
Well, glad. I'm so glad that you call Vegas home now and that you enjoy it. Most people, when they go, they either love it or they hate it, and most people love it.
This is amazing here. Yeah, it's very conservative, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Very Midwestern, So I grew up in the Midwest, so I'm right at home. Yeah.
So when you were in Reno, were you? My aunt lived in Sparks, so I went out to Sparks a few times, and we went and traveled all over from there. But yeah, were you inside Reno or did you on the outskirts?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we lived over on I forget it was these apartment. Everybody that was coming west from Katrina, they settled in these apartments that were just off of the main drag there, and it took me about 15 minutes or 20 minutes to get to work downtown. And back then, it was you had Harrah's and you had what they call the Row now, the Tri properties, Circus, El Dorado, and it was a Silver Legacy. Yeah, back then. I think they're still there now. I know the Sands Regency just got renamed something or other up there. So, but yeah, we were right there. We did all the festivals downtown, the air races, all that kind of thing. It was actually quite interesting for a year, but it got a little cold.
Yeah, they
My
definitely have
wife and
all
I are
four
warm weather
seasons.
people.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I remember my general manager Lisa calling me in at the end of the contract, and she was asking us. It was October to October,
Okay.
and she said, "Hey, what do you think about sticking around?" I said, "Well, Lisa, my wife was chipping ice this morning,"
Yeah.
and she said, "Well, where would you like to go?"
Yeah.
And we
Dry
got
heat.
along really well, so it's pretty cool.
Good. Good. Well, I'm so glad that you're in Vegas and that it's loving you and you're loving it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So a little bit about you. What do you do for work?
Right now, I own my own company. It's called JS Travel Consultants LLC. JS stands for Jim and Susan. That's my wife.
Hey, Susan.
Long-standing tradition in the industry.
Hmm.
If you're opening a company, you name it after your partner, your wife, your significant other, whatever. And we love it. I do. I'm a destination manager basically.
Okay.
Before COVID, I did a lot of corporate support for the Pacific Rim.
Okay.
But of course, they're not here.
Yeah.
And I have clients in China, Japan, Korea, Malaysia, Singapore, places like that. They're telling me they probably won't be yet till about 24. We are seeing the Australians coming back right now. We have them. We have everybody else in the world, the Brits, the South Americans, Canadians, just need the Pacific Rim to kind of basically balance it all out and get us back to our visitation numbers where we normally would be.
How low are you guys right now compared to where it was prior to COVID?
Well, it's steadily climbed.
Okay.
Everybody's worried about us coming back, and I was not. Okay, I've been here long enough to know.
Mr.
And
Optimistic.
being on the corporate side, seeing all the numbers and stuff. Our last normal year here, 2019, we had 43.7 million visitors, which is normal. And I'm not trying to be cocky. That's
Yeah.
just normal. Then in COVID year 2020, it was 19.6. And I was like, ooh, what do I do now? I'm sitting on the couch. And then all of a sudden, 21, we go back to 32.2, 22 last year, 38.8. And this year, we're already setting records at the airport. February just set another record at 4.1 million people through the airport. It's just silly. And plus, we have great events this year. We have Formula One, we have the Super Bowl, we have all kinds of fun stuff coming. So we should definitely be back over 40 this year. And that's where we are. The goal, and basically goal visitation here has always been around 45 million. And then when we do that, then we'll shoot for 50, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
But being a part of the destination here is really amazing because you're promoting a destination that's been America's playground since the 1800s, basically.
Yes.
Okay. The 1880s is really when everything started formulating here. And I tell people in our tours all the time, I have no problem telling you the mission statement of Las Vegas. It's just give the people what they want, so they give us more money. It's
Yeah.
been that way ever since Block 16 in the 1880s. It's like, and that's just it's amazing how everything has evolved over the years and just continues to grow and grow and grow. So, I mean, I'm very comfortable where we are right now on the progress we have and the brand new addition to the Las Vegas Convention Center. We had 5 million attendees last year at conventions alone. Today is Global Meetings Industry Day, so that's always a fun time here. So yeah, I'm not worried about us coming back. It's just where can we improve and continue that level of service that we have here. Everybody may compete, but we all sell the destination.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we're from Vegas, so that's the big deal.
So with your travelers, you realize that most of them are wanting to get like that old time Vegas experience, or what are they kind of looking for when they come to Vegas?
I do 3 different sections of the city. I do downtown, which I
Okay.
absolutely love because that is Las Vegas. A lot of people don't realize that when they're on the strip, they're in the township of paradise.
When you consider downtown, what are we talking downtown? Like
Oh,
new part or like
downtown is,
the
yeah,
old part of like Fremont
yeah,
and like
downtown Fremont
skeezy
Street,
part?
basically.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vegas was born where the Plaza Hotel and Casino is right now on May 15th of 1905. That's when John C. Fremont signed everything into law and Las Vegas became a city. I tell everybody now, when you see the hats and the T-shirts and everything that are 1905 that I was wearing, thank you very much, because that's our birthday. Um, and then you have the Strip, which when Bugsy moved off out of downtown onto the Strip, you created paradise. And so we got about 8 different townships that actually make up the city of Las Vegas for about 2.68 million people right now. It's a very interesting little city, and everybody, it's all Las Vegas. It's a one, but it's all broken up into these little townships because nobody wanted to be beholding to the city, especially William Clark when he created Block 16 in 1906. He was the first one. He created the township of Las Vegas. That's what kind of kicked it all off. And Block 16, a fascinating history. We do it on the Ghost Tour. We tell all the history on the Ghost Tour. I give them Las Vegas history about the city, statehood, different stuff like that, and how we were founded back in 1821, which a lot of people don't realize. We're a very young city. I mean, 1905, being incorporated as a city for Vegas is really young. We're only 118 years old versus a lot of the missions in California and other places around the Southwest. I mean, that have been here much, much longer. I mean, people don't realize Vegas wasn't even documented until 1821. Yeah, Rafael Rivera, he was a missionary. He was going from St. Louis to L.A. on what they used to call the Old Spanish Trail. He came upon Las Vegas and he found water, which was rare in the desert, but there were mounds out here. There were ponds out here and meadows, lush meadows. And he had no idea how to document all that. So what he did, he started drawing meadows on his map.
Mm-hmm.
And literally in Spanish, Las Vegas means the meadows.
Okay.
Wow.
And that is how we got our name. No big glitz, glamour, the strip, or anything else. Just a missionary drawing, the meadows on his map became Las Vegas.
Yeah. And it sure has changed out there and developed so much where we used to grow up, there was nothing. And when we said we were going into town, when I lived with my aunt, she lived off of Craig and Lone Mountain and there was nothing out there. So when we went into town, it was by the Meadows Mall actually. And we'd have to go to the mall and it took 45 minutes to an hour to get into town. So it was we're going into town. We made it an all-day event to go into town. And then it just started growing and growing and growing. And now where there was nothing, houses are at the base of Lone Mountain. And it's just absurd because I was thinking there would never be something like that out there. But sure enough.
I live in the lakes out here on the west side. It's one of the first residential developments that were out here. If you remember, Rainbow was as far as you could go.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden the houses are all the way past the summit is almost to the mountain where the big developments are in Summerlin.
Yeah.
And we just are amazed sometimes, when I was in Reno, they had what they call urban sprawl, where they weren't going to let it go beyond 350 or 400,000 people. Here, it's just massive now. The valley is, when you fly into the Las Vegas Valley, it just goes forever. You know?
I remember going to McCarran Airport in school. It was a field trip and it was before it expanded. But they had the monorail or whatever they call it. And we went on that and it was the coolest thing ever because it was going so fast and it still had where you had to go to different terminals and things. And now when you go to their airport, it's kind of like a big Disneyland casino all together. It's just huge.
And did you speaking of the monorail, they never put it out to the airport, which they should have. But did you hear what's happening now? Our transportation system is going to be Teslas.
Oh, wow.
We have underground tunnels. They have a couple of them already done. Underneath the convention center, Las Vegas Convention Center, from the Silver Hall all the way over to the new West Hall, they have these little tunnels that were done by Elon Musk and the Boring Company. And you have Teslas that run you around down from hall to hall to hall. It takes 90 seconds to go from one hall to the other hall. And you can put about 4, maybe 5 people in a Tesla with the driver, of course. And so you're getting around underneath the convention center. The first one was just completed over to Resorts World, which is the new one where the Stardust used to be. That's Resorts World now. It's the first Asian gaming on the Las Vegas Strip. It's owned by the Getting Group from Malaysia, Macau, Singapore. It's a combination of Hilton with Hilton, Crockford's, and the other one there, Conrad. And so they've been doing very well. They have all the big performers now. They have Luke Bryan, Carrie Underwood, Katy Perry, which is just a completely different conversation when you talk entertainment here.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have these tunnels all around the city underneath. They will have Tesla stations from Mandalay Bay, basically all the way downtown.
Okay.
Which, if you know, that is the heart. That's
that is.
The Las Vegas Strip, 12.2 miles.
And you're starting right there at the Mandalay Bay, so it's right on the edge of the cusp. So that's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Speaking of the convention center, when we graduated high school, we graduated at the convention center because our classes were so big.
Oh yeah.
That it was an all-day event, and we were at the Las Vegas Convention Center, and it was can we just hurry up and call my name and let me get the hell out of here? because it was a long thing. Like, geez.
You could
But when
probably-
people are like, oh yeah, we had this many in my graduating class, I'm like, that's it? Like, seriously? But yeah, it's definitely crazy out there. So I graduated
Oh, yeah,
from
it's-
Cheyenne High
we are
School.
we are still growing.
Yeah.
We are growing. We have a lot of folks. Well, we have the California folks coming. A lot of other. We were averaging up until last year about four. I want to say about 4,000 people a month,
Oh, wow.
something like that. It was a crazy figure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about the spooky ookies.
Yes. You talked a little bit about Block 16, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, I mean, what kind of things were going on there? What kind of years was this happening? Let's get into a little bit of the rowdy nature that was going on.
It was fun. It was all William Clark, the guy who owned he owned about 80% of the Union Pacific Railroad. His brothers built the original railroad that we still sit on today. We had a railroad here called the Los Angeles, San Pedro, and Salt Lake Railway. Okay. And it ran from Los Angeles up to Salt Lake. It was built by the Clark brothers. And that's what really kind of put Vegas on the map because nobody else had the rail. Okay. Is that if you look at it, we're pretty much centered here between Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Salt Lake, and a few other towns, major cities here now in the western half of the states. But William Clark came out 1906, and he went up to Salt Lake, had a look around, said, okay, no big deal. Came down here to Vegas and just loved what was going on. By then we had buildings and streets and all kinds of fun stuff. And so he said, this is cool. I'm going to go talk to my brothers in LA. And then when I get back, I got to search for Mr. Fremont. So he went down, he did some business. He came back and he sought out John Fremont. And he said, hey, man, this is great. How can I be a part of everything that's here? And Fremont being from Vegas, he's like, yeah, this is my joint. Get out of here. We don't want, who are you? He says, well, I'm William Clark. And what if I gave you something that nobody else has? He said, what would that be? He said, well, I own like 80% of the Union Pacific Railroad. He's like, oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now
He's
you
like,
could stay.
well, my brothers built the one you're sitting on now. All I have to do is buy it from them, rebrand it Union Pacific, and you guys are on the map.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Fremont said then? It's like, yeah, hi, Mr. Clark.
Sign me up. Yeah, now we're buddies.
But it came with a caveat.
Of course.
He was an entrepreneur and he wanted land.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows that basically downtown Las Vegas started as a railroad auction. The railroad owned 15 blocks out front of the plaza. And that's what they started. And they wanted it to be kind of classy. So when they started doing the building and everything else, parlors in front, gaming in back, ladies could walk down the wooden sidewalks with a parasol and a bustle, the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was kind of classy. But that wasn't William Clark. William Clark, he was an entrepreneur. He wanted money. He wanted things that created
a true Vegas.
That's right. There you go.
created
True
income.
Vegas man.
Yes.
So they gave him land on the other side of Fremont. And I remember the story goes, he asked John Fremont, he said, how much land did you start with? He goes, 15 blocks. He says, great, I want 16.
Oh, he wanted to
So he
do
wanted
the
to
one-up
one-up
game.
him,
$1
Yeah.
more.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And from Ogden down to Stewart, he created 16 blocks of anything and everything, mercantile, grocery stores, casinos. We had an opium den. We had Mama Chow's, which was big. Opium back then was very big. Laudanum heroin. They had no idea that it was bad for you. And on the corner, we had a house of ill repute. We had to have the ladies,
And that's still there.
Still there, huh?
The ladies are.
The ladies never left, right?
Yeah, go to Pahrump.
The ladies never
are
left.
there.
No, the ladies have been here forever. Yeah.
Yes.
And they're still very popular, shall we say.
Yes, they are.
The polite way to say it. But yeah, the Cowboys could come in. They could start on one end and go anywhere they wanted. And all the big casinos, like the Arizona Club was a big stick. You had the Double O, the Red Onion. You had all kinds of these different places. You could actually gunfight in the street. From 1906 through 1910, you could actually gunfight in the street there.
Wow.
Damn.
And we've had
A little too late now.
I know.
Yeah, not even to bring in the mob yet, but we had organized crime from like the 1880s all the way up, until the mob arrived. But there was all kinds of stuff. And I'm somewhat of a Vegas historian, as you can tell. The tour that we do here for Go City in Las Vegas, I've researched everything, from the original script. We've gone through several renditions, I guess, and I keep learning more and more and more, and we add it and keep refresh and things like that. But what was cool about Block 16, it was very easy to do anything you wanted. It was 24/7. You could go into any of the saloons there. There were hostesses, there were young ladies of the evening, there were all kinds of games. Chance
Ladies of the
Pharaoh.
evening.
Remember the old game Pharaoh? You could play Pharaoh, dice, poker, didn't matter. And a lot of people would cheat or whatever else, and you'd get there'd be
Shot in the
shootings
street.
at the
There you go.
tables.
You get a hammer to the
All
hand.
kinds of
Meet
stuff.
me
Yeah.
outside now.
Yeah. And sometimes it didn't even make it outside. But the cool thing was, because it's a desert, there was no Boot Hill here, okay? But we had railroad tracks. So the bodies would get tossed back of the railroad tracks half the time. And the bodies would sit there, decompose, and they became the early spirits that would walk in overnight into Block 16, into the alleyways and whatever else. And, people would go out wandering at midnight, 2 a.m. to look for the spooks. And I certainly hope they had a tour guide like me to show them where they were.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, William Clark, for giving me a job in 1906.
There we
right?
go.
Yeah,
Thank you,
there
Mr.
go.
Clark. Yes.
But this place was it was such a debauchery of sin. It was called a sin city. And that is where the term came from. Not the big strips, not downtown, whatever. This was Block 16. There's at the Cosmopolitan, their food hall is called Block 16. And it's supposedly an homage to this, the original, but not even close.
It makes me think of Clark County Detention Center. Like, where you at? Block 16.
Oh, right,
Like,
yeah.
because I'm a badass and I'm in jail in
Probably
Vegas.
a similar amount of criminals
Probably.
in both, I
For
would imagine.
similar activities.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the kicker, because it was the township of Las Vegas, they had their own police force, they had constables, they had their own jail, they had their own city council, basically. And because nobody wanted to behold on what Las Vegas was, they wanted their own rules, they wanted their own management. And of course, the guy who sat at the top, William Clark, made the rules, and there you went. And if you're doing well and you're making money, he didn't care how you made it. He just wanted he just wanted the rents or whatever he was doing with them. And as long as the money was flowing, they didn't care. And did you also know that Block 16 was the reason why Las Vegas was never dry during Prohibition?
Okay.
Yeah, from 1920 to 1933, Vegas was never dry because people would come through on the rail. The inspectors from the government mostly would come in and get drunk as they wanted to get. Okay.
Drunker than
Go on
Peter
down to
Brown.
Los Angeles, Phoenix, or wherever they were going,
Yeah.
collect their tax monies, come back through Block 16, get drunk again, and then head on back to wherever they were to put the money in the bank, Yeah.
So when you say Block 16, what big casino would be there, or like something that would stand out? Like, for me,
Right
it's
now
been
it's
a while
California.
since. Okay, what before that?
That would be, oh gosh, well, the Cal's been there forever. So anywhere, the Block 16 was actually taken apart in 1945.
Okay.
They put in parking lots, and where we do our presentation from, the parking lots, they are original from 1945.
I'm just
So
trying to
if you
think
go-
in my mind
if you
where
go-
it was.
If you go back of the parking lots, you have Binion's,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
which was the Mint,
Yep.
and what Circa is now used to be the Mermaids Casino, the Glitter Gulch, and also
There
the
you
Las
go.
Vegas Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then back behind there, you have Main Street Station, and then right in front is the Plaza.
Yeah. The plaza's been around for a long time.
Yeah, since 71.
So you mentioned Binion's Horseshoe, and for those who are residents, like, there was the time when Ted Binion died, and then his girlfriend Sandra Murphy, and that whole situation where the gold was stolen and went to jail and all that. But then the Horseshoe is known to be haunted.
Oh yeah, big time. Well, there's three classifications of hotels in Las Vegas. Okay, 1906 is the Golden Gate, which has been there. It is still open today. It's the longest continuous running hotel in the city. That was the very first. Then you have 1932, the Hotel Apache. Okay. And that was the first resort hotel because you had your own room with your own bathroom.
No
Fancy.
sharing.
There you go.
We're moving up.
You had a hotel with an elevator. Nobody had an elevator back then.
Okay.
And
all right.
the kicker was you also had air conditioning,
Oh.
which nobody had.
Hot damn in
Yeah,
Vegas.
That's it. I don't need the elevator. I don't need any of that other stuff. Just the AC.
Yes.
It's the only selling point you need.
And when you're out there and it's summertime and you have to turn your car on way in advance so you don't burn your ass when you get in the car.
Oh, that had to have been crazy walking into that casino for the first time and feeling that temperature change like that.
Wow.
And there's I've been out here since 06, I said, and it's amazing. I've gotten used to the dry heat, which I love now. I'm equally as home in 110 as I am anywhere else in the world. So yeah, but the Hotel Apache was that resort feature that nobody else had downtown. And so you went from the Golden Gate to this Hotel Apache, and then later on in 1941, here comes the folks down at the El Cortez,
Dun, dun, dun.
and
Okay.
they had the casino. So yeah.
The light bulb went off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously these guys, they came after Cuba became communist. I'm assuming, right? I mean, a lot of the gambling and a lot of the kind of mobster families were over in Cuba and had set up casinos and establishments there. And then, I mean, Vegas. How quickly did Vegas kind of become the second, Little Havana or whatever?
It was really not we had New York here. We had Murder Inc. So we had Meyer Lansky sitting at the top. We had Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, and Bugsy didn't like to be called Bugsy, by the way.
Yeah.
He wanted Ben.
Yeah.
Benjamin Siegel. He loved Ben. And they were with Lucky Luciano, Ice Pick Wilson, Mo Sedway, Gus Greenbaum. We had them all here. We weren't really a Little Havana. We were our own little mix back in here, and it was being set up by the mob. Okay, because they were coming in, they were taking over different things. It really wasn't as prevalent until the Murder Inc. folks got here, and they actually took over the El Cortez in '45.
When did that name take on, Murder Inc.? When did they?
Murder Inc. is it was just a term from New York.
Okay.
Because they kill people.
Yeah.
They had one of the highest rates of hits, mob related hits. In the industry you could call it. And the nickname stuck. It was Murder Inc. Yeah.
Do you think Bugsy came up with that nickname?
No.
His name is Ben.
Sorry,
mostly
Ben.
Mostly their competitors.
Okay. It seems like they would have been a little proud to have that name, though. I mean, they were successful at what they did.
They were very successful. And, people, it's funny because we talk about the mob here all the time. We owe them so much. Did they kill people? Sure. Did we overlook it? Yeah. Because they gave us infrastructure. Yep. They built roads. They built they built Sunrise Children's Hospital. They built you're talking about the Boulevard Mall. They built the Boulevard
I
Mall.
remember the Boulevard Mall. Sunrise Hospital, I was a candy striper at.
They brought the Gap to Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, all the Tropicana Hotel and Casino that sits on Las Vegas Boulevard, all Meyer Lansky money.
I used to think the Tropicana was so cool because it had like a swim up bar. And so it was so exciting to be like, oh, you could go there and have the swim up bar. Like, yeah. And then the Excalibur, I remember when that opened, and that was like a huge thing for that. But then growing up there and seeing things of history that get demolished or whatever the case may be, I love old original things that it just kills me when shit gets demolished. Like, leave the shit alone. Yeah. So my mom, at one time, she was married to a guy, and he was, him and his family were very big in Vegas, and they were all dealers at casinos, and they were big at the Sand. So we'd go there and just say our last name and get comp to eat. And so, like, I'm not a cook because we ate comp food everywhere we went.
Oh, you'd get the Siegel treatment.
Yeah, because they were big Italians, and so or Sicilians. But yeah, we'd just go somewhere, me and my sister, and we just say our name. We'd take the cat bus. I don't even know if they have the cat bus here, but it was their transport system. It was like 50 cents, and we take the cat bus as kids and go. But yeah, so it's like. Good old Vegas.
The bus now is RTC. It's called the Deuce.
Okay.
Yeah, the cat bus, same thing.
But it was great growing up there because then, like, that was when my love for college basketball was started because UNLV, Running Rebels.
Oh, yeah, Larry Johnson.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Jerry Tarkanian was the coach. Right. Like, that was such a big thing that.
And he got in trouble for some. Isn't that the coach?
No.
Not so much Jerry. Is his son Danny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like that love for basketball and sports, like it all just came together for that. And then, so it was like Greg Anthony, Magic Johnson, like everybody for sports, like college basketball, my love for that came out then. And it was like, oh yeah. So when you think of, so you say, Vegas history, do you like horror films? Like, cause growing up there used to be a guy, and so he owns the TV show Count Customs Cars. Danny. And so he used to be Count Cool Rider. So his family owned the local TV station. And so every Friday night he'd play black and white old horror films, but he'd dress up as a vampire and you'd be like, I'm Count Cool Rider, ha, ha, ha.
Oh, he's like the male Elvira.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was really cheesy, but that's what got me part of my love for horror films, but from The Blob to Piranha to Night of the Living Dead to House on Haunted, like different things, but it was like, holy shit. Yeah. And some of it's all in black and white, but just the creativity. And yeah, I just thought that he was so amazing. And when he did Count's Custom Cars, I'm like, I know who that is. That's Count Cool Rider. Okay. So yeah, I don't know if you ever seen that, if you have a history. Okay.
No, I know who it is. Yeah. I know Custom Cars. Yeah.
Okay.
The biggest guy that does that now is Zach Bagans.
Mm-hmm.
Zach has the Haunted Museum on Charleston,
Yeah.
and he has all kinds of gory stuff in
Yeah.
there. I'm not a horror fan, believe it
Oh,
or not.
really?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Ever since I was a kid, I just couldn't sleep when I saw a horror movie. So
Okay.
I just don't. I never got associated with it.
Gotcha.
And but yeah, Zach Bagans is probably the biggest guy out here with the
Yeah.
horror stuff now. Yeah.
So his location for that used to be the Nevada bar building.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know the actual
Yeah. So it used to be
portion
the
of it, but
Nevada
yeah, he's right
bar.
on Charleston there in
Mm-hmm.
Las Vegas Boulevard, like
Yeah.
not even a block down.
Yeah. I worked for a law firm, and that was I'd have to do stuff, take stuff there. But yeah. So when I seen that he bought that, I'm just like, the Nevada bar, like, really? That was just kind of odd to buy a legal building. But yeah, I haven't.
But he's added on a lot of stuff. I know there's one area in the back where you have to sign a waiver. You
Oh
have to be
shit.
21. I mean, there's a lot of really
Really?
gory
We need to
stuff
take
from
a trip
serial
to
killers
Vegas.
and
Yeah.
like Ed Gein and Jeffrey Dahmer and
Yeah, and he
all
has the
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
money to purchase like real.
Right. The Black Mirror show did an episode about something like that, a
Yeah.
museum of like serial killer artifacts and all this kind of stuff. But
I love shit like that.
yeah, it's definitely.
But yeah,
So-
it's interesting though.
So if you're not much of a horror guy then, but have you had any kind of paranormal experiences or anything while you've been doing any of the tours, or anything that really made the hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
Yeah, over at the Las Vegas Academy of the Arts, the original Las Vegas High School, we see things there all the time in the windows and stuff. And I've actually got a great picture of what we think might be Mr. Petrie peeking out the window.
Mhm.
And I don't want to give too many away because I want people to come on the
Yeah.
tour. But yeah, we've had funky stuff happen there. Also, the old Mint Hotel at Binion's,
Mhm.
which I mean, I've been looking at. We started the tour in June of 21, and I'm proud to say myself and Mary are the only two still from the inaugural class. And we've been looking at that building since June of 21, and we see changes there all the time in the curtains and the windows, and I see lights on and off.
Okay.
I've actually had people on the tour walk up, and we'll see lights come on in one of the hotel rooms,
Mhm.
and we wait to see because it might be security just checking.
Yeah.
You see the flashlight, but there's no flashlight. It's like a TV flickering or something in the window. It's amazing, and I've reported things to security. They've shut them off, like lights on in different rooms. They shut them off. I come back a day later or two, and they're back on again. There was one series of 4 rooms that the light stayed on for 2 weeks, and it's like, okay. And security tells me, they go into that building and they hear things all over the place. They walk in, there'll be a TV on, they shut it off, they come back a day or so later, and the TV is back on. I mean, there's nobody in there. There's no vagrants, there's no homeless. My wife and I just spent our anniversary down there. We stayed in the Hotel Apache. And when you go up to the front desk at Hotel Apache, there's a sign there with about 32 different documented encounters in the hotel.
Oh wow. Okay.
So when you're walking past one of the rooms that had an encounter, there's actually a plaque in front of the door on the wall describing the encounter as you walk into the room. So it either gives you a sense of excitement or a holy cow, what am I walking into kind of deal.
So you stayed there for your anniversary because of it was haunted and you guys wanted that experience, or just because it was okay?
It was fun, yeah. And being a tour guide, my wife is like, doesn't go out on the tours. So when we're downtown, I'll be walking around, showing her all the different
Give her
stuff.
your own tour.
And it's kind of like, cool, and my friends come to town, same thing. But we had a blast. I didn't have an encounter while I was there, but I had a few beers that night. So,
Hey,
went to bed early.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a great time. Room 400, Alan Rothberg just has a friend of his who's a paranormal investigator, set up some emitters and stuff in the room. I'm going to be staying in a couple of weeks down at El Cortez in room 2220, which is Fat Irish Green, the mobster.
Okay.
That was his room.
Ooh, you'll have to let me know how that goes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Adam Weisberg down there, general manager. We get to meet these folks because they had no idea who we were
Yeah.
when we started the tour in June. So the security people, because we had groups of
Yeah.
people were doing the thing. Who are you? What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what we do in Vegas fashion, we took them out on the tour. We got them used to what we were
Yeah.
doing, and now we're commonplace. We're accepted.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So did you kind of ask him if you could stay in that specific room then? Is that kind of how
Yeah.
it works?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for confirmation on what days are available so I can stay in that room
Okay.
for at least a couple nights.
We
Yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah, that's neat.
There's rooms all over the city where you can stay. The OJ room where you got arrested at Palace
Yeah,
Station.
the Palace Station.
You know, there. Oh yeah, there's tons of rooms where Britney Spears conceived. I mean, where you know all kinds of stuff. Where John Entwistle committed suicide at the old Hard Rock.
I was reading, being the Elvis fan, that they were stopping Elvis weddings for Elvis impersonator weddings. Is that true?
No, it's back.
Okay.
Here's the story. Okay, right around the time that the movie came out, this
Yes.
latest movie
Yes.
came out with Tom Hanks. I think they just needed money, basically, and they created this whole thing where the company that licenses the name, not the family, but the company that has the name license, they needed money, and they were like, okay, you got to pay now. Okay, and they were trying to tie it in with promoting the movie and whatever else. And Priscilla had no idea, from what we understand, she didn't know, and she said, "Oh, fix this now." Okay, I won't have my husband's memory tarnished by you guys trying to do something silly. So what they do now, you have what they call Elvis certified chapels, where they pay a fee and they're certified as an Elvis chapel. We do it, the Little Vegas Chapel there in the Arts District where we do our tours. Elvis will come out and he'll greet our folks all the time. It's a food tour. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and they are an Elvis certified chapel. So it's still going on. It's not going away anytime soon. It's too popular.
I
It's
was
too
gonna
big in
say,
the industry.
he was so big in Vegas, like that would be
yeah.
absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
But in true Vegas fashion, everybody wants their hand in the pot.
Well, I guess that was one of the other things that kind of made Vegas so popular was, from what I remember, well, not that I remember, but Tucson was a big wedding destination city, and back in I guess around World War II, this was happening because all these people were, who had been drafted into World War II, them and their girlfriends would drive down to Tucson and they'd get married overnight, and then you'd get shipped off to the military or whatever. And then I guess it was Arizona, they made, you need 72 hours to wait or something to get married. And then that's when Nevada came in, and they basically had those weddings overnight again. And it seems like that was kind of one of the big things that really launched.
Yeah, we are the wedding capital of the world. We do 220 some thousand weddings a year. We just last year on Valentine's Day issued our 5 millionth wedding license.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a huge industry. It's like somebody gets married here once every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And you'll have people doing all kinds of stuff on Fremont, just having fun. And the bride will invite you into a reception or whatever, just to have a beer,
So I just saw this
crazy.
thing on TikTok. They have is on the Strip, and I'm assuming kind of from the way it looked, kind of like by the Coca-Cola factory or where it used to be or whatever the case.
Mm-hmm.
They have a Taco Bell that's huge. And it's like you could get flavored adult slushies, whatever, in the flavored drinks that they do. And then you could get married
At the Taco Bell.
at the Taco Bell. They have a wedding, and then they play like pop music and like dance music. So you could get married at Taco Bell, then go down and everybody cheers with churros and have some slushies and dance for free.
I wonder if we can get an Elvis certified Taco Bell wedding
Does
chapel.
a wedding thing say you were married at Taco Bell?
Right.
Because
That might.
Well, here's the deal. The Taco Bell you're talking about is called the Taco Bell Cantina.
okay,
It's one of two we have. And the Taco Bell Cantina is right there on Harmon and Las Vegas Boulevard. Okay. When you walk in there, you get a shot of tequila. You can have beer. You can have mixed drinks. You can have slushies. There's a DJ on the second floor. It's like come to Vegas and get drunk at the Taco Bell because you can. Okay.
yeah, yep,
And
with Mexican pizza.
Okay. Well, I do love
that's exactly what it is. And also, here's the latest. We have a punk rock museum opening here on April 1st on Saturday. Okay. And they're going to have a punk rock wedding chapel.
What
Opening
the
April
hell?
15th.
Oh no. So now you can get married by Johnny Rotten.
Sid
as
and
opposed to
Nancy,
Elvis.
Sid and Nancy, Elvis, or the Yo Quiero Taco Bell dog.
Oh God.
Like the options are endless.
Wow. I don't have a girlfriend. I guess I'm gonna have to go.
Marriage is overrated.
Go
You don't want
find
to do it.
one. I need to get to Vegas and
And just get it annulled really quick just to say you did it.
just to have some fun.
Yeah.
Get
But
married at the Taco Bell.
I'm in it to win it because I just think that's amazing.
Well, you can also get married at Denny's. I mean, you can get married at the Dirt Dog. I mean, anywhere in the city you want to get married, you can get married. And if anything high end, well, it's just you just need the money to do it. That's all.
Yeah, don't waste your money on
I would
that
love
shit.
to see the people who spend high-end money on a wedding in Las Vegas. I don't.
People need to save their money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's silly. We've had weddings here cost over $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, the owners of Red Rock, Fertitta Lorenzo, his daughter got married, and he just threw a big old bash at Red Rock, and it cost him like $1 million.
That's so crazy. So, for locals, what would be a good place? I don't even know. Do they still have Macayo's Mexican restaurant out there?
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay. A shout out to Macayo's.
There's not many, but there's one or two. Yeah. Yeah.
I was at Roberto's, strictly Roberto's.
Roberto's
girl.
is still here. Yeah. Roberto's Taco Shop. Yeah.
So I like their rolled tacos and guacamole. They're so good.
I love rolled tacos.
Lord. And they were cheap as shit. And then they have Del Taco for those who don't know what Del Taco is. You're missing out. Go to the West Coast. And
or hang out down by Sahara Tacos El Paso, which is from Tijuana. There's a line there 24/7 to get into this taco shop. I've never been, but they say it's great.
Where's that at?
It's right there on Convention Center Drive.
Oh, okay.
Right across now from Resorts World, and just right there on the corner.
That sounds so cool. I love street tacos.
Oh, Tacos El Gordo. That's what it is. Tacos El Gordo. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the big kind of food scene going on right now in Las Vegas?
I do I work exclusively for Taste Buzz food tours, and we do 3 tours. We do the Strip, we do the Arts District, and we also do downtown. And we take people off the beaten track to smaller restaurants, right? Local places. But the food scene here is just unbelievably good. You have celebrity chefs galore. You have high-end restaurants. You have lower-end restaurants. You can do everything from Tacos El Gordo to a Bobby Flay to an Emeril Lagasse to Gordon Ramsay at Hell's Kitchen, which is sitting right there in the corner at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah.
Giada de Laurentiis at the Cromwell. I mean, all of these places are just unbelievably cool. There's so many restaurants opening all the time. You don't even realize how many there are.
Yeah.
And I have people asking me all the time about different places to go. And a lot of them I know, some of them I just don't, because I mean, they're too new. I haven't found them yet. Yeah.
What are some of the dishes people really, really freak out about on your food tours?
They love barbecue. They love, well, in the Strip, we have Mexican elote. We have Dirt Dog, their signature house dog with everything, plus the kitchen sink on it. We go over to Sugar Cane. You get bacon wrapped dates. You get all kinds of fun stuff.
Bacon wrapped dates?
Oh yeah. And also, we have goat cheese croquettes. We have a yellowtail with crispy rice. And if you love, oh, by the way, people ask me all the time, where's the best sushi in town? It's Sushi Samba at Palazzo. They have 3 different kitchens for warm, hot, and cold sushi. It's amazing. I'm not a sushi guy, but people I send there come back raving. So yeah.
See, I like repetitive. So like Capriotti's is hands down. See, hands down. You got to get Capriotti's, Roberto's tacos. Like you're good with that.
What about some like old school Italian? I mean, is there some places that have kind of been around since the mafia was really, some lobster?
Piero's right there by the Piero's right there at the convention center, still rocking. Let's see, there was they used to call that, remember it was called the Leaning Tower of Pizza?
Yes.
It was down on Maryland Parkway in Sahara, I think it was. And that's gone now, but it's been replaced by a new one. Let's see, there's the other Italian.
So they used to do like a big Italian festival out in Vegas every year way back when. I don't know if they still do, but it was because then you would go and they were cooking and you get the sausage and peppers and like and have like real legit, like, or their Italian food. And then when my mom was married to the Sicilian guy, they would make Italian food, and it was definitely different. And then I lived in Italy and know that it's
Were you
different.
here when Capo's started?
Yes.
Capo's is still here. They still do the mob related stuff, and some of the best sausage and peppers I've had.
Yeah. I love sausage and peppers.
Ooh, yeah.
But like I like old school stuff. So there used to be a bar called Four Kegs, and you could go and you'd get strombolis or hot fries, and they put like hot sauce on them, and like they were just so damn good. I don't even.
Can I get gabagooled anywhere?
I don't know what the hell that is.
The next time you come back, Misty, go to Carmine's in the Forum Shops. All family style Italian, very, very good. Carmine's is really good value for the money you're paying.
Yeah.
That definitely seems like that's kind of been maybe the last 20 years or so, like the food scene in Las Vegas has just absolutely taken off. Huh?
When the Rio opened, their big thing was the buffet, because the Rio buffet was so big, and it was the Rio
Carnival World Buffet.
Yes, the Carnival, and people would wait in line forever just to get into this buffet. And I hate buffets. but yeah, so that was so big because of all the stuff that they offered and like the different. But buffets out in Vegas was
The
like
crab
the big thing.
legs.
Yeah.
That had to have been
Oh
the big
yeah,
thing,
the
right?
Yes.
king crab legs.
I
Yeah,
was the, yep. I love crab
but there's
legs.
not many buffets left anymore.
Oh, okay.
The
Germs.
Wynn, Caesars, Excalibur.
Hmm.
There's a few. The best is actually Caesar's Bacchanal. It'll set you back about $85 a person, but it has all kinds of really cool stuff on the buffet. Yeah, that's about the best. That and the Wynn. I would say the Wynn. Bellagio's open, and also MGM Grand, I think, just opened theirs. Circus is family style for the
It's
kids.
so
They have
yummy.
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, a lot of French fries, pizza.
I love French fries and Dino Nuggets. Like, don't knock that shit. We go places. I'm like, do they not have Dino Nuggets?
I have to
Like,
call Circus and ask if they can get you some Dino Nuggets
Yeah.
next time you
Yeah.
go.
we're at the
room
Derby, and I
service.
was like, do they not have Dino Nuggets here? I don't want this.
Yeah.
I want a Dino Nugget. But yeah. So if a guest is on your tour and after the tour they have questions, are you approachable where you'll take some time and help people and lead them in the right direction, or?
Absolutely. It's the first thing I do. Yeah.
Okay.
My questions, when we wrap up the tour, I shake everybody's hand. The first question is, hey, where are you going? What you doing? Do you need directions? Do you need me to kind of steer you around anywhere? Or they'll ask me, hey, we're going to this restaurant. Do you know it? If I do, yes, I'll give you my honest opinion.
Okay.
The phone, okay? Everybody, in a lot of cases, I'm able to text them and communicate with them. Some tours don't let you do that.
Yeah.
And they have my, I tell them, keep my number.
Yeah.
Send me a note, send me a question, I'll answer. Yeah.
Sometimes it's nice to have a local to help you, especially in that area, because there's swindlers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come down here and see my candy truck. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I'm very approachable. I write a newsletter every Wednesday called the Midweek Smile.
Okay.
That's in about 35 countries around the world. And everybody has my number because it's right in the newsletter.
Yeah.
And so I get all kinds of texts, emails all the time.
Okay.
Depending on how busy I am, I will return pretty much every one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say for people who are questioning about going on a tour or like going to Vegas in general?
I would say split your time between the strip and downtown. Downtown is amazing. It's people are concerned a lot now about pricing because of course the prices are a lot higher out here now. Not only for rooms but for drinks and food and entertainment and everything
We
else.
used to have 99-cent breakfast.
Yeah. Split your time between downtown, a lot more fun and less money. You got to do the strip. There's the attractions up there, like the volcano's going away because of Hard Rock. So, you didn't hear this?
No, I did not hear that.
The Mirage has been sold to Hard Rock International of Miami. The same people who have the Seminole Bingo. So when you go into the Hard Rock now, it's no longer MGM, and they have the Unity cards and all that. And I hate talking about this because it makes me so mad. But they are going to take the volcano out, and they're going to put up one of those hideous blue guitar hotels.
Oh.
We had a Hard Rock at one time down there because that's when the Hard Rock Hotel was open, and then like behind it was like the area that most people, you don't go in, you kind of like sketchy, but but like the Hard Rock Hotel was there. Like why? And don't take out
It's Virgin now. Hard Rock, the old Hard Rock is Virgin now. Yeah. Which is tribal gaming, by the way.
So if somebody wants to reach out to you, and this is up to you if you want to plug your business and let people know. Yeah. Give yourself a shout out.
It's JS Travel Consultants. We're www.jstravelconsultants.com. J.A. Higgins at jstravelconsultants.com. Just come on in and do that little search for JS Travel. We're right there. And I do all kinds of different things from tours to from destination management, meetings. I'm a meeting planner. I mean, groups of all sizes, as long as it's 10 rooms and above. All kinds of different things. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being part of this. You guys, if you're on a tour with Jim, ask him to see some of those pictures or ask him for his local like hotspots.
Or reach out to him and he'll plan your trip for you, maybe. Give you the restaurants you need to go to.
That is pure Vegas hospitality.
That's right.
Not really, but yes. He's a transplant.
There's a lot to having this gray, and it's fun and experienced. And my nickname, the kids gave me the nickname when I started training the guides. They call me OG Jimbo, which stands for old guide or old gangster. Take your pick. Right. But yeah, that's my nickname, OG Jimbo. So
I like that.
Gangster Guide.
They're Gangster Guide.
All right.
Jim.
Learn
I
all
like it. Yes.
all the ins and outs of Las Vegas, and learn where all the ghosts are.
Yes.
Especially.
And different travel hotspots.
There we go.
Great places to eat. Shit. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Amazing places to eat, it sounds like.
Yeah. And with things always changing, then you know where it's at.
I'm hungry right now.
I know. I want Roberto's.
I haven't had it, but I
We
want
can
it.
ship,
You want it.
We're going to ship you some Robertos.
Let me tell you, when I flew to Vegas one time, I flew back and brought Capriotti's with me because it's so good that I was like, Like, I put it in my suitcase because you can't bring food on the plane. I was bringing that shit home. Like, I don't give a crap. Yeah. There's just some things you just, We'll have to do a trip out to Vegas. We just have to.
A couple rogue meatballs in the suitcase.
Whatever it takes. Yeah. You know, don't mind those meatballs. Don't touch the sandwich. Yeah. But it's so good. But thank you so much for being a guest on our Hometown
Oh, it's been a
Hauntings.
pleasure. I've had a blast.
It's great talking with you. And if we could do anything and help you out, we will. But check him out. Plan a vacation. Get the hell out of your house and go on a tour.
Yeah. Get out and go do something. Eat some good food.
Yeah.
See some scary ghosts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vegas weather, it could snow one day and be hot as hell the next. So get out there and, enjoy it.
That's right.
So, well, thank you so much. Tell your wife we said hello. Thank you for being our guest on our show.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I've had a blast. It's been a good time. And anything you need out here, just send an email or text and I'll take care of it.
Most definitely. Keep us updated on your experience at the hotel, though. I want to know your feedback on that one. Yeah, most definitely. Well, thank you so much.
Are your kids driving you mad? We've got the answer. Join us on the nation's premier ghost tour, featuring haunted and historic attractions and creating memories you'll be too scared to forget. So book now at ghostcitytours.com.
Misty,
Quentin.
are you ready to look at submissions?
I am.
Woo! What do we have this time?
This time is a video. And I love videos, and this is actually our first video that we received. And this is from Andrew, who's actually an employee here at Ghost City Tours. He was working, and he captured this when he got a notification from his Ring doorbell. So this is here in Covington, Louisiana. So let's watch the quick clip, and then we'll discuss it. Okay, so he's talking about the orbs, the 3 dots that are moving.
Why is it 3?
Oh, wait, now it looks like 4. Maybe it's because it's moving fast. And then there's 2 and gone.
What the heck is that?
I don't know. Wait, did you rewind it?
No.
Or is it on a loop?
I guess it's on a loop.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know much about Ring doorbells. I'm not techie like that. I have no idea. At first, I've been thinking like car lights, but you don't see more, and they're not like piercing through like bright.
And they're not vertical.
Yeah, and they're moving quick where it looks like you could like a trail of whoosh. That's my sound effect.
Whoosh.
Yeah, you know what I mean, like whoosh,
But
like behind them.
they're not like individual. They're like in a stack. They're like tethered together. It's not like.
Yeah, but then as you were watching, it looked like some tethered away.
Then they came back.
And then they came back, and then it went from like 3 to 4 to 2. So what do you think?
I have no idea.
That was odd. That was really odd, though.
If it was pointing up directly at the sky, I would say that's a UFO. That is an alien spaceship.
So you believe in aliens?
Sure, why not?
Okay, I'm with you.
We can't.
Disprove it. Yes.
We can't be the only people in the universe.
Do you know anything about Ring doorbells?
No.
Okay.
I don't have one.
I don't have one either. But I just didn't know, like, for him to get notification on his Ring.
Well, the Ring, any like security camera, because my parents have a thing, like the camera picks up cars passing by and the headlights of that, like in the distance. But that's not headlights.
Yeah, because I would think headlights would give a outcast effect of more light and not the whoosh.
Yeah,
after
it's
them.
not going to go back and forth.
Yeah. And I would think a
'Cause that's
street
not how
light is
cars
stable.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a street light is just staying.
And bugs don't, if it's a bug or anything or a speck of dust, they don't like plan out
What
like.
if they're love or glow bugs?
Fireflies?
Yes, and maybe flying as a group.
I don't think they're that like intricate. And
I'm just trying to think what
uniformed.
somebody else might watch and be like, those were da da da. I don't know what the hell that was.
It's a thing. Could be anything. I said it as a thing of like, I don't know.
Have you ever seen something like that before? On anything that you've watched of like spooky things? I haven't.
I've seen something like that in person.
Oh, you have?
Yes, I've seen a legitimate orb
Okay.
with its own like, almost like tail, luminescent tail that wasn't a reflection. It like moved sporadically in the corner of my eye, and it had a trail.
Like the whoosh with it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was just weird because it did seem like it was going, I don't know, like it couldn't decide. Do I want to go this way? Wait, do I want to go back? But we're all going together, the three. I don't know. That was very interesting. And I like stuff like that. I like video because people always look at pictures and they're like, well, you stand the wrong way. You moved, you did this. It wasn't, you need to take back pictures, a video. And Tim said on another one prior to, like, video's pretty solid as far as stuff like that. But I definitely thought headlights at first, but then you have the vehicle behind it that's not moving. Right. And it's not even running. So it's like there's a animate object not doing anything and then movement around it. So.
And it can't be a distortion of the lens, making like three of one object, because then everything would be like that, and it's not.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yep. There'd be three of those trucks.
So
I don't know. Andrew, good video.
Yep.
So yeah. So I would just ask people, send us stuff like that. That's the good stuff to watch.
Pictures.
Yes. And where would they send them to?
You can send your submissions at hauntings@ghostcitytours.com. That is hauntings@ghostcitytours.com.
And then we'll go over them, reach out to you, go over them, and see what we think about them, because we're professionals.
Yes.
We're not, but yes, we pretend to be.
Well, now you ruined the magic.
No, we are professionals. We get stuff all the time. And we all are, most of us are believers, except for the naysayers. So.
I've been doing this for 30 years.
So where did you see your orbs at, though?
It's at the St. Pittsburgh Hospital.
Oh, okay.
In St. Pittsburgh, Tennessee.
So you saw it not on camera, you saw it just from the corner
with
of your
my
eye.
own eyes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
What did you guys think it was? Anything?
There is a technology standpoint for this, but we're not
technology. We have naysayers, where I'm a believer. I think that was great. So yeah, submit us your stuff, and we could go over it.
You just shut them down completely.
Yeah, I don't want to hear negativity. No room for negativity today.
Okay.
I thought it was great because the other one's going to be negative Nancy too. So yeah.
Stonewall.
Yeah, Stonewall. But yeah, I thought that one was good. So yep, send us your submissions.
Yep, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, thanks guys.
Bye.
Hometown Hauntings is brought to you by Ghost City Tours, offering tours in over a dozen of the most haunted cities across the United States. Book now at ghostcitytours.com and use promo code HHLV10 for 10% off. That's HHLV10.